Here's the truth. In the USA today, almost 64% of adults live paycheck to paycheck, even people making over $100,000 a year. That means one unexpected bill, one car repair, or one medical expense can send them spiraling into debt. I know this reality because I was one of them. I worked hard, but every month, the bills piled higher, my credit card balances grew, and I had no real plan for my money. It felt like I was running on a treadmill, sweating, exhausted, but never moving forward. But everything shifted once I discovered the right personal finance tips for beginners in the USA. Simple, proven steps that anyone can follow. In this video, I'm going to give you a 5-step roadmap to saving more, crushing debt, and finally building real wealth. And here's the kicker. The 5th tip is something almost 80% of Americans never do. And it's exactly why so many stay broke. Stick with me until the end, because that step alone could completely change your financial future. Let's be real. Right now, a huge portion of Americans are one unexpected bill away from crisis. Recent surveys put roughly 60 to 64% of consumers saying they live paycheck to paycheck, a figure that's been shockingly consistent across multiple polls. Credit card debt isn't small either. Revolving balances recently topped about $1.2 trillion, which means carrying balances and high interest is draining people's budgets every month. And emergency savings? A large share of households would struggle to cover a $1,000 surprise. Major surveys show many people either don't have that buffer or would need to borrow or use a credit card to handle it. I was no different. I hustled, paid the bills, and still felt like money slipped through my fingers because I didn't have a simple, repeatable system for my cash. That's the trap. Hard work without basic financial habits still leaves you vulnerable. The turning point for me wasn't a raise. It was a decision to manage what I had differently. To prioritize a tiny emergency fund, track where every dollar went, and stop letting high-interest debt quietly eat my future. But here's the thing. Even when people make a budget, most don't stick with it. Studies and surveys show only a small minority maintain a budget consistently, which is why Step 2 is where most beginners still trip up. Step 1. Build an emergency fund. Start small. Just $1,000 is enough to break the cycle of scrambling for cash and sliding onto a credit card when something unexpected happens. Recent surveys show a majority of Americans would struggle with a $1,000 surprise expense. So this tiny buffer isn't luxury, it's protection. Why $1,000? Because without a short-term cushion, ordinary shocks, a car repair, a vet bill, a medical copay immediately turn into high-interest debt. Revolving credit from credit card balances are well over $1 trillion nationwide, which means many people are already paying high interest on emergencies that could have been covered with a small savings buffer. The math is brutal. Even a few $100s of credit card debt at 20% plus interest compounds quickly. Here's the practical playbook. Open a separate liquid account. Ideally, a high-yield savings account that keeps your money accessible but growing, and automate contributions. Set up an automatic transfer timed to your payday. Even $10, $25 per week adds up. And automating removes the daily decision that kills saving. Behavioral research and policy guides show that structural nudges like automatic transfers, the same principles behind Save More Tomorrow, dramatically increase saving rates. Make it painless. Use direct deposit splits, recurring transfers, or round-up features in apps to funnel spare change into the fund. Treat the $1,000 goal as a milestone. It's not the finish line. Once it's in place, you can expand the buffer to cover 3 months of expenses over time. The evidence is clear. Consistent, automated habits beat big, one-off intentions every time. But saving alone won't solve everything. You also need visibility and control over your money. That's where Step 2 comes in. Step 2. Track and budget. Budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. When you know exactly where your money goes, you control it instead of it controlling you. A simple rule that's easy to explain and even easier to start with is the 50-30-20th rule. 50% of your after-tax income for needs, rent, utilities, groceries, 30% for wants, dining out, streaming, hobbies, and 20% for savings and debt payoff. This rule was popularized by Sen. Elizabeth Warren, and is a practical starting point for beginners. Start by tracking 1 month of actual spending, don't guess. Export transactions or use an app and watch where your dollars disappear. Most people are surprised by small recurring leaks, subscriptions, delivery fees, impulse buys. Once you have the data, assign each expense to a category and compare it to the 50-30-20ths target. If housing or transport pushes your needs above 50%, adapt the split. Many advisors now suggest variations like 60-30-10 in high-cost times. But the principle stays the same. Know your baseline, then make deliberate changes. Use a tool that fits your style. Automatic aggregator apps like Mint give quick visuals and alerts. While YNAB, you need a budget, trains you to give every dollar a job and think ahead. Both help you see flows and make choices. Pick the one you'll actually use and commit to it. Reviews and comparisons show these apps each have strengths. Mint for hands-off tracking, YNAB for active budgeting and behavior change. Here's the behavior trick that separates planners from doers. Schedule a weekly 10 to 15-minute money meeting with yourself. Move transactions into categories, adjust next week's plan, and celebrate a small win: 1 fewer takeout meal, 1 subscription canceled. Even though many people create budgets, few stick with them. Recent reporting suggests a large majority say they budget, but only a small fraction consistently follow it. So this weekly habit is the glue that makes budgets work. Finally, remember, budget practice is proven to improve financial well-being. Higher financial literacy and active budgeting correlate with better savings and less financial stress. Treat this step as the foundation once you build visibility and control. Step 3, destroying high-interest debt, becomes much more powerful. But here's where most beginners go wrong. They budget on paper, but don't change real habits. That's exactly why Step 3 is a game changer. Debt is the silent wealth killer, quietly eating your future one interest payment at a time. Right now, total U.S. credit card balances sit at roughly $1.21 trillion. So this isn't a few people's problem. It's systemic. Among households that carry credit card debt, the typical balance is measured in the thousands. Roughly $6,065 on average, and average card APRs are hovering around 20% or more. That combination means interest alone can cost you real cash every month. So how do you stop the leak? Two proven payoff strategies dominate the conversation: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The snowball method focuses on paying the smallest balances first to get fast wins and momentum. Many people find that psychological momentum helps them stick to the plan. The avalanche method targets the highest interest debts first, so you pay less total interest over time and get out faster on paper. Both are valid: snowball for motivation, avalanche for math. Practically, start by paying at least the minimum on every account. Then throw extra cash at your chosen target debt each month. If you're mathematically oriented and disciplined, an avalanche will save you the most interest. If you need quick wins to stay motivated, snowball can keep you going until progress compounds. Behavioral research and large public health analyses also show that reducing debt measurably improves psychological functioning and lowers stress. Paying down balances isn't just financial math, it's mental health work too. Other tactical moves that can speed repayment: negotiate lower APRs with your issuers. Consider a 0% balance transfer offer only after checking transfer fees and the promo length. And avoid new purchases on cards you're trying to pay down. CFPB and consumer finance guides warn that balance transfer fees, MO expirations, and fine print can wipe out the benefit if you don't plan it carefully. So run the numbers before you transfer. I used the avalanche approach to clear my credit card balances, and the freed cash flow was immediate. Hundreds of dollars a month that I could redirect to savings and investing. Once debt is under control, you'll finally be able to move on to real wealth building. But clearing debt is only one step. Next, we'll automate saving and investing, so your money starts working for you, not the other way around. Now that you've cleared the worst of the money leaks, it's time to make your money work for you, and the easiest, most powerful way to do that is automation. First, capture free money. If your employer offers a 401k match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. That match is literally an immediate return on your contribution and a cornerstone of retirement savings. Many plans include employer contributions and matching programs, so treat that match as non-negotiable. Next, automate everything. Set up payroll contributions to your 401k and enable any auto-increase option your plan provides. Then open a Roth IRA if you qualify and schedule a recurring monthly transfer there as well. Roth IRAs let your investments grow tax-free, are a powerful complement to employer plans. Check current income and contribution rules for eligibility. Where should your automated money go? Low-cost, broadly diversified index funds are the simplest, most reliable choice for most beginners. If you prefer set and forget, robo-advisors can automate asset allocation and rebalancing for you. If you prefer hands-on, dollar-cost average into simple ETFs and rebalance once a year, the key is consistency. Automatic recurring contributions remove the temptation to time the market and keep you buying through ups and downs. To make the power of compounding concrete, investing $10 per day. A few practical rules to follow now. Always capture the employer match first. Keep costs tiny. Prefer low-fee ETFs or index funds. Expense ratios matter. Automate contributions, payroll, monthly transfers, or robo-advisors, so you never have to decide each month. Rebalance annually and avoid chasing hot tips. Slow, steady, compounding wins. Remember, automation turns intention into outcome. Small habit of automatic contributions paired with low fees. And broad diversification is the single most reliable path from debt repayment to real wealth building. But none of this matters if you're still sabotaging your progress psychologically. That's why Step 5, the money mindset, is the most important piece. We'll get to that next. Here's what schools never taught us. Money is only part math. The rest is behavior. Behavioral economics shows that small design changes defaults, it's automations, commitment devices, and our day-to-day habits move the needle far more than one-off financial knowledge. Beliefs matter. If you tell yourself, "I'll always be broke," or "I'm just bad with money," those narratives shape choices and lower your financial self-efficacy, which researchers link directly to poorer money behaviors. Rewriting that inner story is the first practical step toward different results. So what does a mindset shift look like in real life? First, start seeing yourself as a wealth builder, not a paycheck survivor. Use identity language. I am someone who saves, or I am a person who invests. Second, celebrate tiny wins. Cancel one unused subscription, hit a small savings milestone, or make one extra debt payment. The small win strategy and tiny habits work to create momentum and make big goals feel achievable. Make implementation intentions concrete. Pick an if-then plan for money actions. For example, if it's payday, then I will transfer $50 to my savings account. Studies show these specific plans dramatically increase follow-through compared with vague intentions. Pair that with habit anchors. Tie a new money habit to an existing routine. To make it automatic, it's social leverage. People copy peers more than they copy advice. Field experiments show that sharing peer norms or joining small accountability groups increases saving and better financial choices. Surround yourself with people who are taking improving financial actions. Or create a small accountability circle to share goals and wins. Finally, translate mindset into systems. Automate savings and investing, use defaults where possible, and build simple rituals you can repeat daily or weekly. Automation, the save more tomorrow idea, and employer auto-enrollment removes temptation and dependence on fleeting willpower. That's why behavioral fixes often outperform knowledge alone. Remember, wealth is rarely one dramatic move, it's thousands of small, consistent choices reinforced by the right identity, tiny wins, social support, and automated systems. But consistency doesn't come naturally, especially with endless financial distractions. That's why the next step is crucial. Take a slow breath in and let it out. So let's recap the roadmap you can actually use. Build an emergency fund. Create a simple budget, destroy high-interest debt, automate savings and investing, and master the money mindset. Why these 5? Because a tiny cash buffer stops emergencies from becoming high-interest disasters. Most Americans don't have that buffer right now, which is why a $1,000 starter fund matters. Debt is real and expensive. Revolving credit balances in the US are over $1 trillion. And interest is what quietly erodes your progress. So paying down higher rate balances is priority number 2. Budgeting gives you control, but only if you actually follow it. Many people create budgets and then abandon them, which is why simple, repeatable systems and weekly check-ins beat complicated spreadsheets. Automating retirement and investment contributions and always capturing any employer 401k match turns good intentions into results. That match is effectively free money that compounds over decades. Finally, small, consistent actions compound into huge results over time. Even modest, regular investing grows dramatically thanks to compound interest, which is why automation plus time is your most powerful ally. These steps together stop the leaks, build a runway, and flip your financial story from fragile to resilient. If you're serious about scaling this, click the next video to know how to scale up your personal finance game. Because combining disciplined money habits with reliable passive income is how you unlock true financial freedom. Take one more steady breath, and then go take one small specific action you can finish today.